podcast. Jaime here with Vinny Souza. Subscribe to Blades Rumble on YouTube. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I'm, of course, Jimmy, and this is Fixing Sheffield United. We'll get going. I just want to say thank you to the sponsors of this video, Action Coach Sheffield. If you are a growing business and want support to continue that growth, they are the people to speak to. Disclaimer before we start, this is not me saying I have all the answers to all the questions. This is not me saying that the club don't recognise that this is what we've got to do. I'm not saying the Ramble's smarter than everybody else. This is what we would. This is just simply a fan of the club saying, I would like to see these changes implemented at our club. There's likely a lot of things that I'll miss throughout the video. So if you think of any further ideas that can help the club grow and evolve, or you disagree with anything that I'm saying as well, get them in the comments down below. Happy to go back and forth with you on those. But I've got a 5-point plan that I would like to see Sheff United follow. And if you're ready, we'll get into it now. Issue number 1, contracts. As we stand, we have renewed contracts of all the promising youngsters at United. And that had to be the priority. I'm delighted we've gone down that route. We've secured the majority of the youth in the team that we think so highly of. It fits in with our sustainable model. It looks to the future in terms of where we want to be as securing our assets and where we want to be as a football club. Those that we believe have the most potential to become real players for the club can develop at our club. And if they then outgrow the club, then at least the club will benefit in terms of the profit that we'll get from selling those players on. So delighted at the start we've made on the contracts. However, we now come to the crunch time. Now we know it's more than likely we're going to be a championship club next season. We have to cut our cloth accordingly. We can't just offer every experienced pro a new contract. It's just not feasible for the club. So we have to be selective in who we're offering our deals to and what sort of deals we're offering to them. So the first point of business, I think, in rebuilding and fixing Sheffield United is establishing which pros we want to retain out of contract and getting the right blend of experience to match those youngsters that are coming into the squad. It's a fine line now between getting the right experience to blend with the youngsters. And there was a famous line by Alan Hansen that has been ridiculed down the years. He said, "You'll never win anything with kids," when talking about the famous class of 92 of Man United. They obviously went on to win a tremendous amount of trophies. However, they are, as has been seen over the years, the anomaly. And you need a sprinkling of experience and leadership within those talented youngsters. You can't just chuck a load of kids out there and expect them to do well, because we've seen this season they can have some great performances and then suffer inconsistencies and not really perform week after week after week. Well, you need those experienced heads in for that consistency. So who we are going to renew is absolutely crucial in terms of identifying which players we are going to have alongside those promising youngsters. I've got another video coming out with my dad shortly about which contracts we would offer out to existing members of the team, and that'll be something else for you to catch up on later. But that is the first order of business in fixing Sheffield United: identify and secure a select number of the experienced heads going out of contract and make the tough decisions on those that you're not going to renew also. Point number 2 in fixing Sheffield United: Category 1 status for the academy. Now, I went back and forth on this because it's a huge investment for the club. It can be anything between £5 and £10 million. It can exceed that. And we are a club that's watching the pennies. Let's be right. We know we're going to be in the championship most likely next season. We cannot afford to spend frivolously. But we are putting a heavy focus on youth. And when people say, people know that Category 1 is the best possible youth category. But what does it actually mean? What is the difference between a Cat 1 academy and a Cat 2 academy? Because then if you know the difference, you'll be able to determine whether it's worth shelling out that extra income to get and retain that status. Well, from what I understand, Cat 1 status allows you to go national at a younger age group for players of significant talent, essentially. So if you are Cat 2 status, for example, you can only go within 90 minutes of your club's radius to recruit players that are 14, 15. If you are a Cat 1 club, you can go national with that. That's just one of the benefits. If you're a Cat 1 club, you have the best facilities, you have the best to offer young players, you put the most money into the facilities that are there. So it's basically pushing youth to the forefront and up the priority list of the club. Is it worth it? Because it's a huge investment. It would probably mean we don't sign big name players in the championship. We don't make big permanent signings going forward, because that investment that will go on the field will be going into the academy. So it's not a straightforward decision. Everyone thinks Cat 1 is brilliant and we need to do that because we need to secure the youth. But if we don't, if we choose to, Brentford, for example, people have Brentford and Brighton as the examples, don't they, of the way clubs should be run. Brentford have scrapped the academy system altogether. So you might watch this video and think, actually, we could do with saving the money, Jimmy, and just, buying smartly through our improved recruitment, which we'll come on to. So let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think we should go all in with an academy system, which I'm backing that we do? Or do you think we maybe look at a different route and potentially invest in the scouting system more? More to come on that in a minute. Point 3, and perhaps the most controversial suggestion in fixing Sheffield United, and one that I don't know how well it would go down with the current staff in place, if I'm honest. And I think we need to adopt a longer term vision for the club, which we say that we have, but then you change personnel and ethos and mentality tends to change with that as well, depending on the different personnel that you get in. I think we need a constant, and what I'm proposing is we need a technical director at Sheffield United who can oversee the long-term vision of the club. And by that, I mean recruitment strategies, a continuity plan for the long term, how we go about recruiting players. I think we need to have significant investment in our recruitment team going forward, gearing up for the summer. Never mind waiting until the summer to have an overhaul. I think going into the summer, we need to be looking at installing a technical director who can lead this overhaul in not just data analysis, but also building a scouting team that puts you on a par with, and you can't think about the Brightons and the Brentfords because that's where everybody aspires to be. And there's a reason that those two clubs are able to have the success in the transfer market that they have. And it's because of the investment that they put in and the situation that they find themselves in as well in terms of their ownership. We haven't got that luxury. So when you're thinking about smart recruitment models, and this may be taken out of context, but you look at clubs like Luton, who've gone up to the Premier League this year, and I think we all can agree they have done fantastic recruitment. A lot of it led back to Jay Sausage, but it's something that they've done really well as a club, to be fair to them. Yeah, look at clubs like Plymouth, who've also recruited really well as a club. Morgan Whittaker's the standout name, but they've also got Mike Cooper in goal, who we like, Bali Mumba, Finn Azaz, all these sort of players that they've recruited smartly and sold on for a profit, or now hold the asset that is worth a lot more money. And that is the model that we're going for, maybe on a larger scale than Plymouth, hopefully, if we can do it successfully. But those are the sort of recruitment models we need to be looking at. And it is going to be the key to either our success or failure in the future as to whether we get it right. So identifying the right man, and it's not going to be an easy job. And also, how would Chris Wilder work with somebody that has potentially a different vision to him as to where Sheffield United should go with our signings? Wilder might be more of a here and now man, particularly in the Championship. We need this ready-made signing. Technical director might come in and say, yeah, but if we sign this kid, we get him under the value that he's going to be in 3, 4, 5 years' time, and we're going to see a 5-fold profit on him. Interesting, controversial, but again, let me know your comments down below and we'll see how we get on. Step number 4, maximizing the margins. This is something, again, I don't mean to teach people to suck eggs, but for me, we are not maximising the small margins that we can gain advantages on here. I'm talking about something as simple as a set-piece coach. Now, this is a fairly new phenomenon. It's only been in the last 5 years or so. Obviously, the bigger clubs started it as it's more of a luxury, or it was certainly seen as more of a luxury appointment in years gone by. But a set-piece coach to take advantage of those 50-50 situations, as a Blade, and I'm sure fans up and down the country see it for their own club and will bemoan this as well themselves. I cannot tell you how frustrating it is when we know that we've got decent set-piece takers. Ollie Norwood, although he's inconsistent, he has got it in his locker to deliver a great ball. We know that. Gus Hamer's got it in his locker to deliver a great ball into the box. When we see balls hitting the first man at the corner, or Gus Hamer's free kick that just flies over the box to nobody, I get there's an element of miss kick there, but there's no strategy. There's no planning. Long gone are the days where Stuart McCall under Neil Warnock was the set-piece man. And remember that set-piece where they were all lined up in a row and different people ran past the ball and they never knew who were going to hit it, and then bang. It just creative, different types of set pieces. They can be the difference. A well-worked corner or free kick that just nicks you the odd goal can be the difference. And I don't just mean at this level, because I think, if we're honest, this season's gone. But we need to refine those small margins and make them work in our favour, because if we're going to come back, those are what makes the difference. So refining those small margins is point number 4. And finally, point number 5, it's something that's very easy to say and sort of a thrown away comment when we talk about Sheff United, but very difficult to do. And that's establishing identity. And by that, I don't just mean make sure we've got a formation that we stick to and people recognise. What I mean is an attitude about not just how we play, but how we are as a club. We've always been known to be a tough team to beat that works hard. We've never really been a team that blows other teams away, but we've also never been a team until this season that teams come and embarrass and walk all over. We need to get back that identity, and how we do that links in again to the first point, where we're looking to blend the experience with the younger lads and bring them on and get them to buy into what Sheffield United's all about. You don't have to tell young blades like Ollie Arblaster and Andre Brooks what it means to be a Sheffield United player, but you need to carry on that steel mentality of, you're not going to turn up to Bramall Lane and get an easy game. If you're going to come and beat us, you're going to have to play really well to beat us, particularly on our turf. We need that identity back throughout the club. The last time we had an identity was when Chris Wilder was in charge the first time round. We've just lost it. Terrible season this season. There's no two ways about it. But the club has come closer together again, I believe, since Wilder's appointment. The fans can see what we're trying to do. We need to back the manager in the summer, that he can get the right characters in, the right leaders in, to establish that identity for us again. And we will go again, and we will rise again as a club that we all recognise, that we all love, that we're all proud to wear the shirt and call our own. So that is point 5. That is my plan for fixing Sheff United. Again, nothing groundbreaking, nothing that people don't already know, but just something that I wanted to put out there. That, am I missing something? Is it too difficult to achieve? Do you agree with some of the points I've raised? Do you disagree completely and think I'm talking absolute rubbish, rambling on as per? Whatever your thoughts, get them down in the comments below. I'll do my absolute best to reply to some now I'm back fit and firing again. But thank you for watching. If you're not already and you do like what we're doing, then please do subscribe to the channel. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blade! Ramble!